When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois, noted heathen, live on a Sunday evening. Happy Easter, everybody. And to you, Mr. Dubois.
Yeah, Merry Sunday to you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Ham Day.
Were you out with the fam? Did you Easter egg hunt?
I did participate in the pagan tradition of searching for eggs with my children.
Do you come from an Easter basket family? Is that something that ever happened in your family?
Yes, it's definitely a means to an end, a vehicle for candy. It's how we will justify giving candy to one another. I always did Easter egg hunts growing up, but that's where it ended.
Okay, I had the conversation with my wife today. We have a child together now. Baby Tiago he's great. He's starting to laugh at me.
You discuss the huevos, huh?
I make faces and he laughs. He thinks it's hilarious. It's great. I love a good audience. And I said to her, so do you want to do? I mean, I wasn't like impressing any of my beliefs on her. I just said, hey, do you want to do Easter baskets? She said, I don't know what that is. And I went, oh, okay.
Come and give me big fudge.
We didn't do that in my family. All right. I said Easter egg hunts. And she said, as long as he knows what the day is actually about and it's not just the Easter eggs and the candy. And I said, okay. All right. So there we go. I got already a question. Look at that. From Brian about my shirt. I'm glad you asked, Brian, because I was going to bring it up anyway. I'm wearing pink because pink feels like an Eastery color, right? It's a
pastel.
It's a pastel. Can you see the pink?
What I hear.
Is pink in your range?
Give me like a guess at what color. It's just it's that collar right there, right?
Yeah, the collar, the trim.
Now that you've said pink, I can't not see pink, but I probably would have said like baby blue.
Okay, so this shirt is a collaboration between Motoric FC, which is actually here in my area in Alexandria, Virginia. Oh, damn, did I just tell people where I live? In the place I live, in the area I live, it's a collaboration with the Plastics. You can kind of see that. The Plastics is a sort of intersectional supporters group of people that like soccer fans. They don't have a club. They're just soccer fans. Thank you, David. Plastics. Yes, there it is. So
I thought that was a Mean Girls reference.
And it also is I keep doing that. Icarus is the maker of this shirt because Icarus is just pushing out dope thing after dope thing after dope thing.
And maybe another dope thing soon.
Perhaps. And we need to catch up. I'll let you know. I'll give you guys an update on that dope thing for Old Dad FC.
Or maybe
that may be coming. I don't have an update to give, but we can talk about things. Yes. So we are gathered here. That's what you say on Easter, right? Yeah, we are gathered here to discuss Americans. No weddings, but we're here to discuss American soccer. A couple things for you on the show tonight. Number one, we'll talk about all the Americans back in club action after the international break. Some good, some bad. Some good and some bad in one game. In 45 minutes, there was a good and a bad. And we'll talk about managerial fashion. I think we dropped this. We talked a little bit about this last week. And it was on the midweek show. If you don't listen to From the Stands, which is the episode we put out between the live shows, it came up on that show when I talked to Jared on the phone that we feel like we were the OGs on the scene talking managerial fashion in Major League Soccer. Were we not?
No.
Okay. No. Now, again, it's a rich area. We're happy to share the discussion with people like Jillian Sakovich and Susanna Collins, with what is his name? Sam Jones over at MLSsoccer.com is trolling people with his stuff. Who else?
Do any of them know the proper name for the type of shirt I'm wearing right now? That's my question, because I think some people are come latelys on the fashion game, and they may not know that this is called do you know?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Do you know what this style of shirt is called?
Well, I don't want to embarrass myself. You're the fashion guy. I don't want to step out.
Called a Henley.
I was going to say it was a Henley. See, I knew what I was. I should have believed in myself, Jared, and I didn't.
No collar, 3-button Henley.
And there are some soccer jerseys that are using a more Henley-like style these days. That is happening.
Oh, see, look, our people in the chat, they know too. We got some fashion experts out there in the chat.
All right. But we do have phone lines open too, 717-727-2378. So before we get to Americans abroad, before we get to the fashion review, which is we're going to go through every manager in Major League Soccer. I think it's going to be fun. Jared is going to give us his thoughts here. Let's go to our man Eddie in Brooklyn, who's already
about. You know what this is about already.
On the line. What do I know? What, this is about Champions League coming up?
No, this is about us missing the Olympics.
Oh, well, whatever. Costa Rica's not going either.
Yeah, but now we're co-misery.
Eddie, what are you calling about?
I honestly, look, so I told Stoops, he's like, yo, is there anything you want me to tell him to give him a heads up? I'm like, no, in all honesty, I have nothing to talk about. But I've been talking for like the last 2 hours to different people about TCL that I just felt like when I hung up the last call that I needed to call into you guys. Maybe I felt like I was sleeping around or something, but I just felt like I needed to call in and say what's up.
Well, look, so we could do a little bit of a CONCACAF Champions League preview. It does start this week, Jared. I mean, I kind of
all I know is Atlanta better win it all for losing us the Olympics.
Well, man, they're not in a good place to do that, are they? I think. Well, okay, actually. Not only are they not in a good place to do that because they have a new coach and it's the MLS preseason and all of that, I'm sure Eddie can tell us why Alajuelense is going to be a challenge, right, Eddie?
I mean, they're a good team, but, if you listen to Atlanta United fans, I don't even know why they're even playing each other. There's really only one team that should be wearing black and red because Atlanta United very clearly invented the black and red jersey. So what does it matter?
Eddie on Twitter is like Neo in the Matrix. He's just batting Atlanta United and MLS fans away. Like, this is nuts, man. One arm. It's fantastic.
My man knows like hater jitsu.
So Mexican fans too. Man, when I get into it with Mexican fans, I think that's when I go like next level Neo.
So you guys are hearing Eddie, right? All the Mexican fans come at Eddie. He's ready for you.
Come at Eddie. Yes, yeah. Bring some of that heat. Well, since you've been talking about, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the dude that still tweets out that Rafa Marquez foul against Arjen Robben, and I still say era penal. Like I vehemently defend that, and it infuriates them because as soon as they say that there's contact, I'm like, well, you just admitted there was contact in the box, so that's a penalty. So what are we arguing about? Like, and it just they hate me so much for it, but I just love it. Like I feel like I get stronger because of it.
Eddie's like a super hater because like he just won't ever. He'll remember everything. He'll remember everything, sure. and never miss a chance to throw a diss in. Yeah. Eddie's the hater all of us should try to appeal to.
I think there are some ways to push Eddie's buttons, but he's always good at coming back. I mean, I know the Keylor Navas thing is like just a regular discussion. It's always about Keylor Navas.
Yeah, because he doesn't get hurt, unlike your boy.
What, Stefan?
No, he's talking about Pulisic. Yeah, no. Our best player. Their best player is always playing. Our best player gets hurt all the time. That's what you're saying, Eddie.
Your best player is softer than baby size.
Yeah, our best player also uses his feet.
So is mine.
Sure. I do think, look, obviously Costa Rica is,
he uses that feet to lift that big Champions League trophy, right? You got to lift from the bottom, bro.
Costa Rica has done some very nice things. They've been to World Cups. They made runs. They've been good, right? But I do think, Eddie, come on, you would trade. I think we've already had this discussion, right? You would trade having your goalkeeper be your best player for having an outfield player be your best player, right? If you could find one that was on that level, Champions League medal winner in world football, you would rather have it be an outfield player, right?
If you told me that I would have to trade 3 of Navas's Champions Leagues for 1 outfield player's Champions League, the answer is a hell no.
Okay,
3 is more than 1.
3 for 1, sure,
language.
but if it was equal, you would take having a left back.
But Eddie, which one makes your team better?
That's a good question.
Well, Keylor Navas only conceded 1 goal from the run of play in 2014, and they were a penalty shootout away from the semifinals against Argentina. So I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, that's definitely for that tournament. You're absolutely right. But since then, wouldn't you rather have had an outfield player than a goalkeeper be your best player? Like in the pursuit since then.
I mean, I feel like we've had good players on the outfield. Like Joel Campbell, to me, is still a very good player, and I feel like he showed it against Mexico.
But you're avoiding the question. Come on, Eddie. You're avoiding the question.
I understand where he's coming from because good keeper, you're always in it. You're always in it.
When we had Tim Howard and he was, good, I never made apologies for it. People say, it's got outplayed, and it was only because of Tim Howard that you were in the game. Yeah, he's part of the team. He's a player in the team. He represents the United States of America. I'm happy to have him. Why would I make excuse? Like, why would I feel bad about that? I feel it's the same way with Costa Rica.
Yeah, I'm not that super confident with Zach Steffen back there. You saw the back pass, right?
Yeah, I've seen some things, and I'm scarred by them. But absolutely, Eddie. All right, you came here with nothing. You haven't talked Champions League. You want to give us a note or two on that? I mean, I mentioned Alajuelense already, but do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think people will assume that I think the Costa Rican teams are going to advance. I do want to say one thing. This is probably what we can't talk about, and maybe you guys can pick it up from there. MLS fan bases are funny because I've been talking to, obviously, Philadelphia Union fans a lot and Atlanta United fans a lot. Team A won the Supporter Shield. Team B didn't make the playoffs. Team A is scared. Team B invented soccer. Team A is playing one of the worst Costa Rican teams I've ever seen, and they're still scared. Team B is playing one of the best Costa Rican teams I've ever seen, and they should win 6-0 on aggregate. So when you put it in a vacuum, it's just funny to me.
That's funny. Yeah.
Fan bases, it's just like, what are we basing this off of other than complete blind faith? Because when I look at the matchup, I've been talked into picking Saprissa to beat Philadelphia because of how bad Philadelphia apparently is going to be. Where they're going to throw out this 13-year-old kid who played with my nephew 2 years ago, and they don't have a striker anymore, and can't even field an 11. And meanwhile, in Atlanta, they invented the sport and they have all these new signings, and they beat Herediano a couple years ago, so they're going to smash Alajuelense. But this Alajuelense team is pretty serious. And people will talk about Brian Ruiz, but Brian Ruiz, I've watched Alajuelense games where I forgot he's even on the field. He's nowhere near the focal point that you think he is on that specific team, just because of how deep and dynamic they are, especially on the wing. So I just think in terms of fan bases, the way this interaction, this experiment has gone to me, just in terms of communicating to the fan bases. I was a Red Bull season ticket holder for a while, and I was supposed to hate Union fans. Man, Union fans are delightful.
Philly people delightful. The first person
they're in the chat right now. So
no, every Philly fan that listens to this show is absolutely delightful. That is 100% true. They get a bad rep.
To talk about Eddie's, what he's talking about with the mental game of the fan base, I just think that MLS fans, and I'll be one among them as a Galaxy fan, I think we are a bit fragile when it comes to our teams. And part of that, I think, is coming from a league that has so much parity that you think your team can be bad at any moment. Just because your team won the cup the year before doesn't mean that they can't be last place the next year. Where in a lot of other leagues, you get used to a certain style of success or failure, and that it's warranted. With the Philadelphia Union, they literally went from supporter shields to losing their two best players, and what the hell does that mean now? And Atlanta is getting the savior of soccer back right around Easter in Joseph Martinez, and they think that they can beat anyone out there.
It took you. Hold on. It took you 14 minutes to get that in.
Eddie was talking a lot.
Jay Rodius.
I see what you're saying. That's true. But I guess what he's pointing to is Atlanta is different, and why Atlanta is different, I'm not sure. Again, maybe it's just because of Joseph Martinez, as you said. Man, I don't know. And you look at these matchups, and based on where the Costa Rican teams are, Saprissa is terrible. Philly, if they were full strength, maybe they beat Saprissa, and then Alajuelense against Atlanta United. But then you look at the other MLS teams. So, Portland's getting a pretty bad Honduran team in Marathon. Columbus is getting Real Esteli. They should take care of them. That's a Nicaraguan team. That shouldn't be a challenge, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, Columbus looks really, really good on paper, but it's a preseason.
Now, they're doing away games, right? No matter what the country, they're doing away games?
Oh, yeah. All these games, the first leg for all of the MLS teams is away. So, Toronto FC is going to León.
I just didn't know if there was any country in the Concacaf region where there's an issue right now where we couldn't go to or anything.
Yeah, León is going to wipe the floor with TFC. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like 10-0, but they're going to wipe the floor with TFC because TFC is in preseason and they've got a new coach, and they want Michael Bradley to play more advanced, which sounds insane to me. Eddie, we got a lot of stuff to get to, man. I do appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.
There goes Eddie from Brooklyn. Eddie is great. Go follow him on Twitter. CRC
football.
Yeah, do that. It's not always about Costa Rica defending Costa Rican football stuff.
Sometimes it's about hip hop haters.
Sometimes it is. Let's talk again. That's the Champions League coming up this week for MLS teams. But I want to talk about Americans abroad this weekend. Should we start with the player who got in trouble off the field? Should we start with the guy who scored a goal and made us all feel good, only to leave the game?
Have we ever given an "Oh baby" for an assist?
Yes, probably. But you want to give one to BA? Is that what we're gonna do?
It's Baracus.
Yeah, BA Baracus. Brendan Aronson, right?
That was a hell of a service, man. If you guys haven't seen that, go search that out. And Jesse Marsh is high-fiving on the sideline afterwards. I don't think it's for the goal, even though the finish was nice as well. I think it's for that service and bringing that American in.
Daka scored all 3 goals for Salzburg in that win. Third minute, 5th minute, 11th minute, and they were up 3-0.
I mean, Brendan Aronson playing from the right, which we don't see as often. Like he ended up coming across the field on it. I mean, this ball, it must have gone 50 feet in the air before it came down, too. High service, perfect. Right dead on the money to the second runner to the back post. Fantastic.
I'm telling you, look, Salzburg has this knack for finding players, bringing them in, turning them into phenoms who are then going to get moves. And by the way, Patson Daka is another player who's probably going to get a move at some point, and you're going to be talking about him. I don't know exactly what club yet, but get
used to it. Philly's the new Dallas. It really is. It's going to be. Philly is going to be the new Dallas. They're just catching up to them in terms of transfer fees and getting known for this.
I'm talking to Salzburg real quick. So Daka is the guy who scores the goals, but Brendan Aronson set him up. And I've said before.
Oh, I think it's Paxton. I'm sorry. I think Paxton.
Well, Paxton Aronson coming through. We're going to see how that works. But no, this guy at Salzburg that scored the goal off of Brendan Aronson's assist. It's too easy. It's too easy. And that's the thing I'm not quite sure of. Look, I think Brendan Aronson is very good. I think he could probably get significant minutes in a Bundesliga team next year. I'm not going to say now, but next year. I don't know how bad Austria is to make him look this good, but this is too easy, and he needs a challenge. And they're going to sell him fairly shortly. I wonder what the number is going to be.
I like him going to either Bundesliga or even Serie A. I think his play style's good for that. I don't want to see him in England. I think that brutish physicality. I don't know if that's good for his game or not.
Can we just ask all American players to stay the hell away from England? Can we just do that? As a rule, like there are better places for you to be now.
Goalkeepers can
go. If you play. Jack Steffenson's sitting on the bench. He's playing cup games.
We have a good track record of keepers in England.
No, we do, but I feel like the moment of Americans in England is kind of over. Like the time we had that moment,
But here's the problem: we shoved the Premier League down young players' throats in this country from age 5 to whatever. Like it's Premier League. It's what's on TV. It's what's there. So these guys, that's their dream. But I just don't think it's the right place for a lot of these guys, man. Like Brendan Aronson, I think would be fantastic in the Bundesliga, fantastic in Serie A. Give him some place with a little bit more time on the ball. There's a team around them that wants to play a team style. I think that's a better place for him than seeing him in the Premiership.
Okay, maybe. I do think that you want to put Brendan Aronson in a team. I mean, Salzburg plays that Red Bull style. They're going to press. I think you want to play him in a team that gets the ball and goes quickly towards goal. I don't think you want to play slow build-up stuff with Brendan Aronson necessarily. I think he's probably capable of some of that.
But team that's going to be like in your face a bit or a team that's honestly not as good is going to play on the counter a lot. I mean, a team that's one of the more bottom players, like he could be one of the better players on a bottom team in any of those leagues.
Sure,
that wants to be on the counter all the time.
I can see that. So Brendan Aronson with an "Oh baby" assist on the weekend. That's good. That's positive. I should mention it was already asked about, and we should probably throw it out there. I don't even know. Like, should I put that away for the time being? Like, I don't know what we're doing anymore with Christian
the game ball.
Pulisic.
He got the captain's armband. He's still the Wonder Boy.
But to see him score a goal, okay, look, that's not some fantastic wonder goal. He didn't create it out of nothing, but he was, but confidence building, right? You get in the right place, right time. You put the ball back in the net. You score the goal.
December?
First goal, for a while. And then he comes out, and it's like this Zapruder film. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. It's like, Christian Pulisic didn't come out for the second half for Chelsea. And oh my God, what is Tuchel, what do you call him? What's his name?
Tucci? I don't know who you're talking about.
Tucci. Stanley Tucci. What is he doing? Why is he taking off Christian Pulisic? This must be some tactical thing because you can only presume that because of how he's been treating Christian Pulisic.
At that point at the half, I believe.
I don't know. Yeah, because of Thiago Silva's red card, it completely changed the game and screwed Chelsea. So you could imagine it might be a tactical switch, but no, it's simply Christian Pulisic jogged out after halftime, felt something in his hamstring, turned around and said, "I'm out." And it's like, man, how is he just destined to be this guy? You start
to wonder, is it like starting him after playing 2 national team games and travel? Was that a bad call? But then again, I think that's why Tuchel did do him, because I don't think he's in his big time plan. So there's other players that also played that maybe that he was resting and that I'll throw Pulisic out there for the start, and said, I can sacrifice him if I have to. But I think his body is just maybe not able to do all those games in a row and travel. I would hate to say that, but over and over again, this guy's just hurt. It's a hamstring. I do appreciate the fact that he knows his body enough to say, I can't go. But at some point, that means the coaches will say, you got to go.
Yeah, man. Somebody in the chat said maybe he's not getting the right treatment. Not sure Pulisic getting the proper physical therapy trainer. That's from Soccer Boy Media.
Come on,
I don't
Chelsea
know, man.
Doesn't have some of the best trainers in the world.
Well, no, but what he's saying is correct to a point or at least it could be correct to a point. You remember when Arsenal was having just this slew of soft tissue injuries, and it just kept happening and happening and happening, and everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" And the only, the common denominator there is the training staff. Now, Chelsea doesn't have a slew of other problem players with soft tissue injuries. It seems to only be Christian Pulisic, or for the most part. I mean, they'll get their share, but does that mean that it is something that is just? I guess the question is, Jared, will he ever overcome this, or is this just going to always be the case for him?
I don't know. It's going to be that's a long-term question. I think we're just going to have to see if he makes a move. That's going to answer one of your questions. If he makes a move in the summer, goes someplace else. But let's not forget, he had a hamstring injury
at
Dortmund as well.
Yeah, who's going to? This has been a recurring thing for him,
dude.
No, I'm saying
the dude sells jerseys.
It depends what Chelsea tries to recoup their money. I don't think they're getting it right now, is what I'm saying. And so Chelsea's not going to sell him at a loss. They're going to hang on to him, and
Chelsea I don't think he's money if they're going to buy Erling Haaland like they're talking about,
but everybody's buying Erling Haaland. Only one club can buy Erling Haaland, and I'm not positive Erling Haaland leaves this summer. Whatever. I don't know. The market will be crazy for him. I just don't know. I mean, it's frustrating. Now, I will say that from a national team perspective, if you're looking for a silver lining or you're looking for something to cheer you up, remember, it's not just Christian Pulisic. It's also those other players, Gio Reyna. Okay, maybe his form isn't great, but he did make an appearance this weekend. He still got the talent, obviously, can grow into himself. 17. Brendan Aronson. I mean, maybe Brendan Aronson's a key figure attacking-wise for the national team in the very near future. Tim Weah's still playing pretty well, right? So
before we leave Pulisic, though, I got to pick your poison for you. I got an issue.
All right. You. All right. Got an issue.
I apologize. Not an issue, but like a scenario for you. Which would you rather see happen, Pulisic? Or let's say this, which is worse for Christian Pulisic? Leaving in the summer for $15 million. $15 million. Or getting him loaned out.
Which one's worse?
Which is worse for Christian Pulisic?
A loan is worse. A loan is worse.
Doesn't affect necessarily his value. He can still go and just maybe leave it on higher value.
Sure,
though.
but if Chelsea is loaning... If Chelsea is loaning you out after they spent $60 million on you, and obviously you lost a bunch of playing, or you weren't getting much playing time, you lost your spot in the rotation, pretty much.
Even if it's like a James Rodriguez where he's getting loaned to a big team. Like James Rodriguez got loaned to Munich.
I suppose that, if he's... All right, then what you're saying is it depends on the club.
Let's say that. So, there's rumors of Munich interest. He gets loaned to Munich, or he can get sold for 20. He gets sold for $20 million.
Is he going to play enough minutes in that Munich team for me to be comfortable with that? I mean, I don't think so. So I would say no. I would say the loan is worse because if there's a purchase, even at $15 million, somebody they've invested.
There's a number on it. Then that's what makes me feel so weird and bad about it. There's a number on it. Then
I don't look from my position, and what I care about is that Christian Pulisic is healthy to help the qualifying campaign. That Christian Pulisic is healthy to help us in the World Cup when we get there. If we get there, knock on wood, let's get there. That's what I care about. So if I don't really, I want him to be playing at a high level because that will help him be a better player. But I don't necessarily need it to be like, oh, he's worth $100 million. I don't care about that. I care about him playing because I think he's still a good player. His
second half of that.
His fitness.
Does he need to leave this summer?
Need to leave. I'm gonna say no. I still think he can. I still think that he can maybe reclaim a spot, and I think Tucci's tactics might change a little bit in the summer. So I think he can stay. I don't think he needs to leave.
I think Tucci sees him like my bed. My bed, my wife bought with the guy before me. I still have issues about. That's some other dude's purchase.
Oh my God.
That's some other dude's purchase. It doesn't feel right in my house even 15 years later.
I know. What the hell, man?
Tucci didn't bring Pulisic in, and he doesn't seem to value him too highly. And I think the guy needs something different in his life. Just like my bed, I'm getting a new one. I'm done.
All right, yeah, you should do that. I don't know why you haven't done that yet. That's nuts. All right, Christian Pulisic hurt. All scores a goal and gets hurt all within 45 minutes. Let's hope it's not a long-term injury. Again, out with a hamstring. Let's talk about Weston McKennie, who did not play. Now, I don't think he was going to play anyway. He's apparently still carrying a knock. But Weston decided in the middle of the week with the international break still ongoing that he was going to have a rager at his house. And he decides to throw a party. I mean, it was like 20 people. This is what he does
when he stays home from the national team to recover? This is what he's doing?
Dybala and Arthur Melo are there just hanging out. Like, I'm just wondering, like, what kind of party are we talking about? Were they playing charades, Jared?
I was happy. The one thing I was happy about is that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't there. Obviously, probably because he's in Portugal. But the last thing you want to find out is he having a party with Ronaldo. But here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Weston McKennie having a party in Turin.
Yeah.
What's Weston McKennie serving to drink and eat at his party? Like, what's Weston McKennie's style these days? Because he's making good money, but he's still new money.
No, he's new money, and he is Texas. So you either get okay, maybe Weston McKennie is trying to class it up a little bit, like he's trying to fit in Italy. Maybe he's serving the finest meats and cheeses. Maybe
Peronis.
Well, I don't know how Peroni in Italy might be like Coors Light here. I don't know.
Could be. Maybe his boss is Pirlo has opened him up to the world of wine.
Probably. I would bet that Weston McKennie, maybe they're talking about in their group chat, WhatsApp chat, by the way.
Here's the bigger thing. Does Weston McKennie go buy his own alcohol? Or does he is that an app purchase for him? Is he driving to the store and buying alcohol for his party?
No, I don't think so. And by the way, this is what I mean by Texas. Like if you can get your hands on good barbecue in Turin, that would be the move. But there's no way, right?
I don't know. Maybe he's got a smoker on his back patio. I don't know. Maybe he's doing it himself.
That would be What is he doing? At Jared Dubois? Is he getting up at like 7:30 in the morning to get his meat on the smoker?
He's got a barbecue garçon. Some dude that comes in for him.
That's French. A garçon is French.
Maybe he's got enough. Maybe that Juventus money's good enough that he flies in a barbecue dude for his party.
That would be the flex. That would be the flex of the century. Maybe.
Yeah.
How do you do that exactly? Like you call up the best barbecue spot in Texas.
It's gonna take a vaccination visa.
And you have it like in those like vacuum packed. Like it's got to be like some super technology. You know that how a couple years ago they introduced the pizza slot that like keeps your pizza the right temperature or whatever, like it's a oven on the car or some weird stuff. That's probably only on an airplane, right? For the barbecue,
private jet, just for the burnt ends. But I listen. The only thing that made me happy about this whole scenario is at no point did I hear the word like women or like
well,
that stuff
okay.
involved.
Do you believe though? I mean, look, we're not saying anything untoward was going on. I have no idea.
But that's the state of football. Like
but do you believe?
Basically, assume when you hear about a player's party, this stuff is happening these days.
Who was it that got busted early in the quarantine for having an orgy in England? I can't remember who that was. Some English player got busted.
No, it was a Brazilian player. I thought.
No, it was definitely an English player. I can't remember.
Robinho's thing was from back in the day.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. No, I'm talking about this. In 2020, an English player they were in quarantine, and he I think had some girls over.
Wasn't it Dele Alli?
It might have been Dele Alli. It might have been. You know what? I don't want to throw out accusations without being sure about this. So all right, here we go. See, this is where we get our class from our listeners. Justin says, Pasta carbonara with finest Italian red blend.
I don't think these dudes are clinking glasses.
You don't think so? They're sitting around and like, this vintage. I love this vintage. This is this lovely
I don't
body.
think you get suspended for that kind of party, and I don't think the neighbor knows about that kind of party.
Okay, hold on.
I think Weston was channeling his inner Weekend, and
were they talking about when they were using the word body? Were they talking about women or wine? Which one of those two things were they? Come on.
Were they talking about the legs?
This has some good legs on it. Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying the neighbor is a Juventus fan and called on him. Okay, like that meant that party was raging. Okay, if that dude is a fan and listen, maybe he's lying. Maybe he's a Torino fan and it was Derby week.
Could be,
and he decided to affect that game.
Yeah, man. Is that if you're calling the cops on your own team, then you're setting yourself up for pain, right? Well, they said 20 people. Yank Report here in the chat is saying that it was a poker. They said it was a poker. They claimed it was a poker game. Like that's if you're in high school, you say, "Oh, we were studying." Yeah. But if you're an adult,
no, wrong. Weston was going all in, but I don't think it was on a poker table.
No, man, you can't. It's not. Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
I meant on a bottle of Chianti. You went all in on a bottle of Chianti.
I thought you meant on a hand. You had a good hand. Pulled pocket ace.
I don't know if you used his hand or not. I couldn't tell you.
What kind of hands do you got? Well,
this is a chance to plug the monthly poker game on the Besties Patreon.
By the way, Justin's got it right. That's the English player that got busted for having his orgy. Was Kyle Walker.
For the podcast listeners, you're not going to say the name. They just have to wonder.
No, I said Kyle Walker. I just said it.
Did? Okay.
I was getting to it. Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, Weston McKennie got fined. He didn't get to go on the trip with the team.
You're officially a professional footballer now.
It's just so funny that he turns Andrea Pirlo into his dad, because that's how Andrea Pirlo has to respond to this now, like a disapproving father. Like, I can't believe you had a party, son.
Oh, Pirlo never partied.
No, that's what I'm saying. He probably did, but as the coach, he's got to have a line, right?
Actually, Pirlo seems too classy to party for me. Like I like party like that. That is,
Oh no, he's sitting around tasting wine.
He's like Weston. Why didn't you rent a winery to do this? Why would you do it in your home? What are you know what? Savage?
That's what it is. He got
Weston live in some place that has neighbors that close. Like, come on, boy, you're making some money. Move out to the sticks a little and get in a nice spot.
Maybe he's saving for his future, Jared. But I was going to say, Andrea Pirlo, the probably the reason that he suspended Weston McKennie and fined him isn't because the guy had a party, but because he didn't have a classy enough party. Like, you didn't live up to my standard. I think it's because
he was playing American music too loud. They want to know that American music.
What kind of American music was he listening to? It's all
Here's the thing. I think Weston's music is on point, but at some point in the evening, the inner Texan came out and he played a country song, and that dirty Italian across the street was like, "I ain't having that. I ain't having that country stuff up here. That twang."
I don't believe it. I don't believe Weston McKennie would ever choose to put on a country song unless they were really drunk.
You don't
at
think
the end of the night. Maybe he sang "Friends in Low Places." I did that plenty of times in college. That is
the whitest of the songs that you could possibly pick.
No,
that's probably not.
Every country song is the whitest song he could choose to. Come on, Nicky Soup and Sausage knows all about this. Is there any flavor? Come on, Nick, shake your head. You can just shake your head. It's fine. All right. He doesn't want to add anything to it. I'm shitting on his music. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a name. That's probably the only song I know is the one you said.
All right. So, obviously, Weston McKennie, a little bit of trouble. He's probably going to be fine, right? He's probably going to be okay at the end and get back into this team as soon as he's healthy and all of that. It did not. I mean, aside from Aaronson's assist, Pulisic's goal, which does count, it wasn't like the Americans kind of ran back to their clubs and like did a ton of stuff, though, right? I mean, it's not like we were celebrating a bunch of big performances on the weekend, were we?
I didn't even see it. Did Dest even play this weekend? I missed that because it was Easter. I think usually they play on Sundays, Barca. So I'm not positive if he played this weekend or not. But definitely a slow weekend. Listen, I was watching. I kept refreshing Brian Sharetta's feed, just like what's going on. It was like, dude was telling me about like some Hungarian players. I was like, woo, rough weekend. Weekend. I think Lyndon Gooch scored. That's what we're talking about this weekend.
Lyndon Gooch scored. Where's he playing now? Is he still at Sunderland?
You're asking the wrong dude.
It might be still at Sunderland. Barcelona plays tomorrow against Valladolid. So
only Gooch I know is from Different Strokes.
No, only Gooch I know is a Gucci Onyewu. What are you talking about?
You don't remember the one from the Different Strokes? That was the bully's name, the Gooch.
But I'm saying you said the only Gooch you know is from Different Strokes. You also know a Gucci Onyewu, or I have to kick you off the show. You cannot disrespect a Gucci Onyewu on this program.
My bad.
So
I apologize.
So the Americans are doing their thing to an extent, and again, I think we're comfortable enough. This is what I was going to say about Pulisic and the injury and his status in and out of the lineup and all of that. We have a group of young players that we can be excited about. They're not always going to have great weekends. They're not always going to be fantastic. In fact, I think the best American player on the weekend, again, Pulisic scored and Aronson had an assist. But if you talk about top-level performances, John Brooks. John Brooks put in another excellent shift because that's what John Brooks does.
I do want to throw one other little thing out there for the fans that maybe don't know this, but Luca De La Torre named to the Eredivisie Team of the Month.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty good.
You think he's pushing his way into this team then?
No, I don't think he's. I mean, into the 23 conversation. There's an option to talk about. If Jordan Morris isn't ready to go, there's going to be some openings in that portion of the field. I think there's a conversation to be had. I think he's got a long ways to go. I don't think he's there now. You still got Tim Weah in front of him, Jordan Morris, Paul Areola, Aronson. There's plenty of people in front of him at this point, and the guy's only seen a few minutes at the national team level. But I think overwhelmingly, most people liked what they saw in those few minutes, and he's getting some recognition with his club team. It's just part of the process. I think I'm really excited to maybe see him for the Gold Cup.
Yeah, do you think that that's the move? You bring him in for the Gold Cup, you give him a run in that team, you see if he can kind of handle that spot on the field, and then that might buy him a spot in the team that's.
So it's either that or the United Nations League, right?
Is that what it's called? The official name?
I don't know what it's
called. The United Nations League. No, the Nations League is going to be the best team possible. So
and that's where I'm wondering. I don't know. Once again, we talked about there's guys like Luca De La Torre. There's a couple other guys out there that are potentially could be one of the better standout players in the Gold Cup. So if you're Luca De La Torre, would you rather be position 23 on the 23-man roster at the Nations League, or would you rather be a potential starter on the Gold Cup squad? Like, what's going to showcase you better for Gibraltar, being there every day in the camp he's at, or minutes at the Gold Cup? Like, if you're Luca De La Torre, which one do you want to be at?
I think you probably want to be in the Gold Cup. Yeah,
I agree.
You're not gonna play probably in those two champions.
Guys like Stu Holden and Benny Feilhaber, they made their marks in the Gold Cup. Like, they got national team minutes at the World Cup from the exposure they got at the Gold Cup. Like, it's a good tournament for that. I don't know. I agree with you. I think getting minutes, getting play time, I think it's a better place for him and a few other players as well. I think the Chris Muller. What am I doing? I'm thinking back in the 90s NBA. Chris Mueller, I think that's a good place for him.
His name is Cash. That's Cash Mueller. Get it right.
I can't say that, dude.
Yes, you can. Why not?
I don't know.
You could say Cash Mueller.
You're like the hip hop head, man. I'm not.
It has nothing to do with hip hop. It's
I
just the guy's
Cash Money Millionaires. That's what anytime we say that I say I think Cash Money Millionaires.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you actually know who the Cash Money Millionaires are.
Oh, don't ask me who they are. I've just heard of it. That's Master P's thing.
That's a New Orleans thing for sure. Yeah, he's in there. I mean, not Master P. Birdman. Manny Fresh. Okay, never mind. I don't want to go.
Don't know. Like those, I have no idea what you just
Lil
said.
Wayne, like all that.
Lil Wayne, I know Lil Wayne is. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's Trump's guy.
Not anymore. I don't know if he's anymore. Maybe he is.
Just when it's convenient.
So look, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but we have the first "Who's on the Plane" column from a national soccer writer. Jeff Carlisle did it for ESPN. And before we get to all this,
Jeff Carlisle.
The MLS Manager Fashion Review, which we're about to do, let me just roll through this. And you stop me if you have any issues. Remember, 23 players going to Qatar, provided they qualify. And that's the caveat.
All right, first of all, before we start this, I got nothing but love for Jeff Carlisle. So if we disagree, I'm sure he's right.
Oh, yeah. Jeff's not going to have a problem with it. It'll be fine. Let's see. By the way, I think Jeff Carlisle, first person to congratulate me on Twitter when Thiago was born. So I love that guy. He's a fantastic dude.
I think I texted you probably before that, but that's okay.
You might have. He sent me a DM. Or maybe he texted me. I don't know. Whatever. You're Uncle Jared. He's not going to be Uncle Jeff. It's not going to work that way. All right. This is in order of just like who's the first name, the second name, like you would do it. Like who can I not be without, right? in that order.
Yeah.
Pulisic is number 1. And I'm just going to go through this. You tell me if you have a problem. John Brooks, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Zach Steffen, Serginho Dest, Giovanni Reyna, number 7, which I kind of feel is a little high for Gio, but that's okay. He's going to be in the team. There's no question about that. Yunus Musa, Josh Sargent, Aaron Long at number 10, Matt Miazga at number 11.
That's where it gets a little bit interesting. I'm okay with that. Those are the two. I guess is Chris Richards on this list?
I haven't gotten to the bottom yet.
We're talking about Matt Miazga, so I don't know what to say about Matt Miazga unless I know the other.
Okay, Chris Richards did make the 23. I'll say that.
Then I'm okay with it.
Okay. Jossie Zardes.
Yeah.
Reggie Cannon.
Yeah.
Timothy Weah.
Yep.
Ethan Horvath, which I think is a bit of an upset for me. But remember, you do take 3 goalkeepers. So
okay, just real quick, not to make you go ahead, but I'm sure, assuming Matt Turner's the other one?
He is, yes.
Then I'm good with that then.
Okay. Anthony Robinson. Jackson Ewell.
I agree with that. I'm big on that. The only one right now I want to revisit, depending on how this ends up, is Tim Weah so far.
Okay. Brian Reynolds, who's not proven at all in any particular way. Yedlin does not make it. No.
Then I think Chris Richards is the cover here as well. Chris Richards is unique in that he can cover both the center back and the right back.
He can play some right back. That's definitely true.
I think that allows them to take Brian Reynolds.
Okay. Daryl Dike, which is that come up is crazy. Let me just say that again. And by the way, just to throw in a note here, Orlando City reportedly, Julia Poe of the Orlando Sentinel saying that they are definitely holding out for $20 million. They are not budging from that $20 million valuation on Daryl Dike. And 80% of his rights, not 100%, 80% for $20 million. That is a new world. All right. Number 20 is Sebastian Lletget. The boy, you love the boy.
Yes.
Chris Richards at number 21. Matthew Turner at number 22.
Yep.
Jordan Morris at number 23. And obviously that's predicated on him getting back healthy. So that means, and he's got alternates is the way that you label this, right? Because if there is an injury in camp, you can bring it. Josie Altidore, not in the 23 on the alternate list. B.A. Brendan Aronson, badass Brendan Aronson on the alternate list. Walker Zimmerman on the alternate list, as is Paul Areola and Nicholas Giacchini.
Okay,
those are the names.
My take is the only one that I will really speak for that I think is wrong in this is the Weah over Aronson. I just think Tim Weah is doing decent as a sub here and there for Lille, but the injury track record, the consistency track record, I just think Brendan Aronson is on a rise right now.
But I don't think that it's Tim Weah that he pushes out. I mean, provided that Tim Weah stays healthy, I think Tim Weah is good enough, and I think he's shown enough at Lille recently.
Brendan Aronson could eclipse Jordan Morris at his best.
For me, it might be Jordan Morris that gets pushed out. Now, and the thing about you have to think about Brendan Aronson as a wide forward, not as a midfielder, which is where his competition would be. So, and if Reyna is a wide forward, obviously he's competing with Reyna for one of those spots. I mean, you could say that Aronson could be a left-sided player the way that Pulisic is, but there you go. That's your list.
I was going to say as well, it feels like a lot of defenders. I feel like it's one defender heavy. I don't know why. It just feels at least one defender heavy here.
Well, so it's okay. We said Brooks,
because here's the thing:
Long
with the ability to have Cannon and or Dest or even Richards at right back. Isn't the Brian Reynolds pick kind of superfluous?
Yeah, it might be gratuitous. Yeah, it might be.
Wouldn't you rather have the Brendan Aronson there instead of?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think maybe because if you look at this. Your center forward options are Sargent, DK, and that's it, right?
Zardes.
Oh, Zardes is there too. Okay, yeah, you're only taking 3 center forwards.
I think that's one defender heavy, and I think it's Brian Reynolds. I personally would rather have someone like Brendan Aronson for sure on this team than taking Brian Reynolds.
All right, fair enough. All right, so that's the
now.
Tentative. Early plane, it's not. They don't put gas in it yet. It's done. We haven't even acquired the jet. It's not even. It's still. That's still a ways off. Got qualifiers to play, but it's there. All right, let's do this. Let's do a little managerial fashion review on the show. Again, this is
On
something
the
we've been
catwalk.
doing for, I don't know, 8 years or something like that. I mean, we haven't done it
there.
consistently, but we started
Yeah.
doing it something like 8 years ago. The world of the MLS manager has changed dramatically since then, Jared. I mean, we were talking about Dom Kinnear in shorts and a polo on the sidelines in Houston back in the day. That was one of the fashion choices. And I love Dom Kinnear as a coach, but the man did not know how to dress on the sideline.
We're talking about a time where Jason Kreis stood out so much with what he was doing from a fashion sense. You know, that's probably the original flosser.
I think you and I just sort of celebrated the arrival of the suit on an MLS sideline back then. I think that's all we were doing, right?
Think about the people: Ziggy Schmidt, Bruce Arena, Bob
Arena.
Bradley, Dom Kinnear, Frank Yallop.
Frank Yallop.
These guys, none of these guys were wearing a suit.
No, not a
Jason
single one.
Kreis comes in, not just a suit, but sometimes a vest, sometimes a turtleneck, like
sometimes, yeah.
Trench coat. Jason Kreis was hot.
Trench coat can be a move. Now, I have collected images of all 27 MLS managers. There are a couple of things we should mention. A couple of these guys are new and don't really have a fashion track record as a head coach because they haven't been head coaches before. So the best we can do is pick and choose on pictures from, the past that may not be reflective of what they're going to look like on the sideline. Some of these guys, may have different approaches depending on the game or where they're playing.
I think some of their approaches are getting dressed in the dark.
And then also, nobody should be judged on their attire for most of 2020. The back end of the season, maybe a little bit, but certainly not on anything that happened in MLS's back. I don't have a problem with whatever you wore there. T-shirts for Black Lives Matter.
Okay,
that was a good
I think it gives a lot of people a pass. I'm not sure about, but okay. All right.
So you tell me, Jared. Again, there's 27 of them.
I'll say this too. Florida was an awesome opportunity to show off a different style of wear.
Oh, I know.
Some
You were
people
talking.
chose not to go with.
I do recall during MLS's back, you were talking about you want. What did you want to?
Linens and flip flops.
I still don't think flip flops would be the move. Nothing open toe.
No, I think people should have worn a loose knit kind of linen style, something like that.
And some dock shoes, and some
boat shoes have been okay.
Yes, boat shoes would be fine. All right, okay, that was MLS's back. This is now. Let's talk about this. You want to go through this alphabetically by conference? Do you have a name you want to? Who do you want to?
I wanted to go in blind, and you just have Nikki just hit us. Had Nikki hit us.
It's going to be me. I'm actually going to be in control of this. All right. Let's go with somebody who is regularly mentioned as one of the best dress coaches in Major League Soccer for FC Dallas, Luchi Gonzalez. Now, this is not – Luchi has also pulled out suits. Luchi has range. Let me say that.
And that's what I appreciate about – he's just like his team. They have range in style.
This particular image, this is this a cardigan, Jared? Does it fall under the cardigan
I don't
heading?
believe it does because I don't see any buttons on the front. It's very, very close, though. I believe cardigans have to have a button, but I'm totally fine calling it that, and that's actually similar to the color I kind of have right here next to me in my cardigan. Maybe with a little bit more blue to it, but yeah. So for the people on the podcast, first of all, get on the YouTube after the fact, and you can catch out these images that we're doing. But I love this look.
I can't tell if these are jeans or not, and I
don't think they are. I think they're like a blue slack of some kind, and I love the confidence of wearing all white shoes on a surface that's going to make them completely green, unless that's turf. That's turf. Never mind. There's no risk there.
Yeah, that does look like turf. I think you're right. I've seen some. There's a manager over in Europe somewhere who rocks like crisp, clean Jordan's like limited edition stuff. He's got the tags on them and everything, and people are like, "You can't do that on grass. What are you, insane? Like, why would you ever do that?"
I dig the rolled sleeves. I wouldn't have told you yes to that if you had asked me ahead of time, should you roll sleeves? But I like the way it looks with him there.
I think Luchi is definitely top 5
Great haircut.
in power rankings in Major League Soccer as for coaches. Let's go to a new one. Now, this is the best I could do for what he might look like on the sideline, and it is Texas, and who knows what the heat's going to be like when he's down there in Austin.
Okay, but seriously, if you cut off his head in this image, this is Josh Wolf. If you cut off his head,
yes,
you could put Greg Berhalter's head on there or Phil Neville, and it would be the same thing, right?
Well, no,
I feel like this has become the lowest level effort you can make as a coach to be called stylish.
I think this is this is a decent look. You're at least dressing up on some level, but I think you're right. This is low effort. And by the way, don't put Phil Neville in this group unless he decides to do this in Florida, which I don't know. But I think that's, in fact, to your point, here is Gerhard Struber.
That literally looks like someone cut his head off and put it on there.
It actually kind of does. Like this. Yes, it does. Josh Wolf's hand's a little younger, maybe. But
so Josh Wolf, for people that they can't see the video, is wearing a blue, pretty tight sweater with a light blue collar coming out the top.
Oxford.
Exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Oxford. We assume it's an Oxford. I can't see if it's buttoned or not under that sweater right there. But I'm saying that look is become the industry standard look for all MLS coaches.
It's pretty standard.
You're not going to get any hate. You're not going to get any hate. But you're not going to get any love either from me.
No,
you got to bring it just a little bit. At least go wrong with a style, but at least be bold enough to have a style.
Okay, I think this is maybe. I don't know if this is going to be Struber every time out. Again, pretty new with the Red Bulls. This one, same thing. This is Giovanni
the exact
Savarese.
same look again. Did you realize you picked the same look for all three of these guys, or did you just pull them?
No, I was just like typing names and getting images.
Literally, Savarese. But I think I'll give Savarese credit. He does dress better than this a lot of the time.
He does. You're right. This is probably not fair to Giovanni
His scarf
Savarese.
game is on point. His scarf and jacket game is on point. Oh
this
my
is
God.
This is Oscar Pereira. Now, I think Oscar can do better than this, but I could not find an example of him doing better than this.
So he's wearing a blue sweater, blue pants.
That might be black.
Oxford.
It doesn't matter.
Yes. But here's the thing. This is Oscar Pereira's best. This is the best he does. He's a tracksuit guy.
He is a tracksuit guy. You're right.
He's a cleats and tracky guy. He thinks at any moment he's subbing himself on. So he must have been going out to dinner afterwards.
There definitely is there's some lines. There's the suit guys. And when I say suit guys, I mean they only wear suits. They're okay. Nothing wrong with it, but that's their move. There's the sweater guys. And Oscar's not a sweater guy. He's a tracksuit guy. Apparently, we're going to add another tracksuit guy because I could not find an image of Gabriel Heinze wearing anything but a tracksuit. And here he is in one of his previous jobs wearing a tracksuit.
Listen, I would hope that the Argentinian man has better flair than that. The guy's been around the world twice with the clubs that he played for. He's got no excuse for not being a cosmopolitan jet setter of a man that has a better sense than to wear a tracksuit. Unless, just for him, some guys just think they're setting the tone of the team when they dress like this.
I just think he thinks of himself as a player who happens to coach, and I think he's just the game. I don't think he cares about the other parts. All right, I'm kind of bouncing around here. I don't know if I'm going to get to like everybody in the same category. I would like to try to do that.
Show me something that's not a blue sweater with an Oxford.
Okay, let me see what I got. Well, so here is your head coach now, and this is a good look. But Greg Vanney is not. That's his lucky scarf, by the way. That he got given to him by a fan in Toronto. He wore it forever.
Burn it.
He's not going to be able to wear it in Los Angeles. So what do you do when you're Greg Vanney? What's your move now? Because he's got style. There's no doubt about that. It's just, what does he do?
What he does is that he never wears a scarf again because he lives in LA. We don't need a damn scarf. I feel that's the weirdest fan like accessory that exists in LA. A scarf. Like,
well,
we couldn't get Galaxy flip flops or something. Like, come on, do something that actually appeals to us in our environment. Give me a tank top.
I used to have some Galaxy flip flops, as a matter of fact, sent to me by the team. When
you got some? Yes, you didn't. The guy that's been a fan of him since '96.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
You should ask Josh, season tickets.
Should have asked Josh Guessman if he's got any that he can give you.
Josh has got one of everything.
All right.
Well, I will say, Greg Vanney setting the high tier for MLS coaches. I'm really excited to see what a seasonal change, a climate change, does for him and his wardrobe, because he's got to start all over here.
Yeah.
You can't just rock that suit and that trench coat year round in LA. You better have some spring and summer wear up in there.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's go on to this is Raphael Wiki. Now I don't know. I couldn't find anything from. I couldn't figure out if this was Chicago or not. Now this is just a very nice coat, like just a effing nice coat is what this is. Like, it's hard to look at it.
Just his whole look is just like he's gonna love you and then graphic design your wedding engagements. Like, you just know that he's got some kind of skills in that way that the rest of the coaches don't.
Raphael Wiki is definitely a guy who I imagine was doing espionage in Berlin in 1985, right? That's what he looks like, right?
Yes, he's got lighters that are also listening devices.
That's exactly what that is.
I would say Raphael Wiki, for my money, best looking coach in MLS. The whole package, the fashion and just his looks.
So you would add him. We've established Lucci is definitely top 5. Are you putting Greg Vanney top 5?
I'm putting Greg Vanney best dressed. I'm not saying he might be the most handsome because sometimes I always agree with the beard look. I'm interested to see what he does in LA because if he keeps the beard or not.
Are you trying to offend me? What's happening here?
That's a cold weather thing.
It's not a cold weather thing.
On your face.
You don't want to see this without the beard, man. I look like I'm 12, and it's not in a good way. Not like I'm younger and I'm like, he looks young for his age.
So you're reeling into the old day of the FC thing, huh? You could shave and let it all go away, and instead you're just owning it?
We're not here to talk about most handsome, although I'm fine with you obviously recognizing
they go together.
They can go together.
Handsome
you're right
just
in
the
that.
face.
What? Okay, let's move on to when I talked about suit guys. This is like one of the classic suit guys in Major League Soccer.
Yeah,
Peter Vermees.
Peter Vermees, he dresses well, but he always looks like he's going to apply for a loan.
Well, I'll say this: his suits are tailored very well, like fantastic tailoring. Yes.
But I just think that he's a very down to business guy. This is the tracksuit version of dressing nice for a coach. It is all business. It says that what I'm here to do, I'm not trying to get into your magazines or anything like that. I'm just trying to look good and professional as a manager. Peter Vermees, 100% one of the best dressed coaches, but I just don't think he loses style points a bit.
He doesn't mix it up enough to get to that extra level, right?
He's just like wearing the 12 and 2 different patterns on the tie and shirt look,
No.
you know?
No.
He's not a big knot guy either, I don't think.
He's gonna go solid tie. He's gonna be the classic gray, blue, black suit.
He's like his team, down the middle, working class. They're going to work hard, and that's what this guy's doing.
Now, okay, speaking of working hard and success and suit guys, this is kind of the other end of the spectrum of the suit guy. Brian Schmetzer, Seattle Sounders.
Brian Schmetzer is about as fashionable as his name sounds. Like it's just a mix. He's doing the bare minimum here. Now, here's the question. Is this the bare minimum, or is the blue sweater Oxford shirt the bare minimum?
No, the blue sweater Oxford shirt, that's the bare minimum. This is a little bit more only because you have to pick out a suit. But again, there's a difference. Again, we just showed Peter Vermees wearing look at the lines on that
fit,
suit, right?
The fit.
Look at how well that is.
They had him take the crotch in a little bit too, just make him look good down there. He thought about everything.
Look, I know styles change, but he's wearing it slim, right? That's the look these days, right? Wear it slim. And here we get Brian Schmetzer, and it's like, look at all that extra fabric that's there. Look at
Brian Schmetzer. If he took off the jacket, might have yellow stains in the pit of that shirt.
It's possible, but he gets the job done. Here we go. This is Gary Smith. This is another sort of suit look. This is when he was at the Rapids. I didn't find a Nashville shot.
I would put him between Peter Vermees and Schmetzer. This is he's got a look. It's editorial. He's got a good look to it, but the fit, I can't really tell. It's not buttoned, so I can't tell the fit's quite right. Yeah, I just feel like it's missing a little. I can't see his shoes. I wish I could see his shoes, so I know if he
looks like a high school principal. Schmetzer looks like an accountant. He looks like a high school principal to me.
Agreed. Vice principal.
Not quite at the top yet.
No, I just think it looks like he's got an edge to him. Like he wants to look tough a little bit, you know.
Like he's the one yelling at people during lunch, whereas the principal never comes out.
I appreciate it's not a white shirt and a black tie. I appreciate that. He's trying.
Since I'm kind of in the S's, let's go to Nicky Soup and Sausages guy, Jaap Stam. Now, I don't know that Jaap is going to wear it like this every time out. And I haven't watched enough Cincinnati games. I think he was. Again, MLS is back. I remember him there. That was like a tracksuit situation or a polo situation. This suit, that's a good-looking suit from what I can tell.
Good suit. You can tell it's tailored by the pants. What I really think about Jaap Stam is that all his suits are breakaway, so at any moment he could rip it off and go punch someone. Like at any moment he may have to throw down.
I will give him, look, this is just black suit, black tie, white shirt. It's classic. Don't get me wrong.
My man spent enough time in Italy to know what a good-looking suit is. And
look at the shoes, though. I can't zoom in, but you can tell that those aren't standard.
They're sneaks.
Yes. He's got an extra little bit of flash. Not a lot.
I think he's going the right direction. I would put him above Peter Vermees just because I feel like that look suits him. I know Peter Vermees is pretty equal. But Vermees' look suits him.
You were just a couple minutes ago saying that the handsomeness of the individual might matter, and I'm sorry, but Peter Vermees is a better looking guy.
5.
Okay, fair enough.
Vermees is a better looking man than Jaap Stam. I don't think anyone needs even like 2 eyes to see that.
Okay, let me go to Jim Curtin of Philadelphia. Now, I don't think this is fair. I think this is completely fair. I don't have a second one of Curtin, but this one is
how many flash bulbs are on him?
I don't know where he is at this point, but
okay.
Look, I think the glasses work for Jim Curtin. He's a sneaker guy. He doesn't wear them on the sideline that often. He did it in MLS's back. But I remember asking him about this.
I'll tell you this. As a person who was around and watching MLS when Jim Curtin was a player, rookie season even, like I remember Jim Curtin. He surprised me with his level of elevation in terms of what he was able to pull off at the coaching level. Always a suit. Sneaker game is on point. And those glasses work for him. I just wish we could get him something to do something different with the hair. But
the haircut,
listen, you play with the hand you're dealt. I don't know what he's dealing with.
Sure.
But I will say this: I would definitely put him in the Peter Vermees category of like well fit, looking good, just out of my top 5 for sure, though.
Okay, I'm gonna burn through a couple that probably don't deserve a lot of attention. Mr. Bruce Arena.
How'd you even find him one with a jacket on?
He wears a jacket, but it's usually a mock or a turtleneck situation. He's not
Bruce
always.
Arena, if he's not in a tracksuit, if he's wearing something, he looks like he might be a bouncer. He's always wearing that bouncer look.
It is old man bouncer. I didn't throw this one in, but this is a touch better than the Oxford situation.
This is Chris Armas. He's wearing the dark black sweater with the not an Oxford, but just a collar coming out the top print. And I will say this: this is reserved for Chris Armas. He's better even than this. He's actually got it going on. I would normally put Chris Armas in my top 5.
Well, so here's the thing, though. I mean, you could have done it in New York, obviously, but he really can expand his scarf game, being up in Toronto. Well, they're not playing in Toronto; they're playing in Florida. So never mind. You screwed it on that fun. Here's Bob. We'll just go straight by Bob. Look, Bob. But here's the thing: he's definitely
not a mannequin.
He's not gonna get into the list. But what I love about Bob is that everything Bob does is Bob. Like there's no he's from Jersey. He's that guy. He's supposed to wear that shirt. He's supposed to look like that, right? That's what you want out of Bob.
Bob Bradley is sponsored by Kmart.
If Bob Bradley showed up at an LAFC game wearing a tailored suit, my brain would reject that out of hand. I don't think I would be able to handle it.
Is he going to a wedding after?
Here's Ronnie Dyla. That's the best I could do. That's the best I could do.
That's unfortunate. Once again, you said it before. You're living in New York City. You've got to bring something better than that. He's wearing a tracksuit of his team. You got to bring something. You're New York. Now, granted, they're playing at Yankee Stadium on a baseball pitch, so maybe he's like, I can't really elevate too much when this is what I'm playing around. Maybe he's matching the level of what the team is giving him the field.
He's also famous for stripping after a game when his team in Norway avoided relegation. So, he wants ease of release. He can't have a lot of tie situation. I think he was wearing a tie and a suit when he did it, but whatever. Let's see. This is Mark Dos Santos. I don't know if this is game day attire, but this is the sweater and the collar with the jacket. This is a lot of layers. That's all I'm going to say. It's a lot of layers,
but depending if you're winter environment, you can pull that off. The belt game is nice. I think the collar's it's oddly wide open. I'm not sure what's going on underneath there. Appreciate the pocket square.
Sure.
Appreciate the pocket square.
He doesn't look comfortable though. He doesn't look like he likes wearing this. So that's what I worry about.
We don't know his emotional state in that moment.
Now, Robin Fraser in Colorado. I got 2 pictures. I don't know why I got 2. I like this. This is from his Chivas days. That's not new.
Obama's tan suit right there. Oh,
this is a suit that most coaches will not try to pull off. And again, this is Chivas. This is Robin Fraser doing this 10 years ago. This is a long time ago.
About the time Obama did his.
Ahead of the curve. That's probably about right. Yeah. And I also have this one. I think this is more representative of where he is these days, but I can't tell if those are jeans. And that I don't know.
I'm okay if they are. I'm okay if they are because he picked a dark wash and with a dark shirt, really good look, really works well with that full beard he's rocking right there. That's a good look from head to toe. That's almost like something I expect like Danny Trejo to wear.
Okay, fair enough. Here's Adrian Heath, another suit guy, but a guy that likes to wear open collars.
Yeah.
He mixes his suits up a little bit. You don't like this? This is a little. This comes across a little slimy to me.
Like I always feel like his clothes, like he bought his suits and they fit 5 years ago. Like he bought nice suits, but he either lost weight or something, and his suits don't fit quite right anymore 5 years later. I'm that guy. I just bought a new suit like 2 years ago before quarantine. Do you think that fits now, right? Hell no.
Yeah, I put a suit on today because of Easter, and I did not like the way it fit me. Did not like it at all.
I think Adrian Heath's always in quarantine body.
Okay. Speaking of not going to make the list, That's Freddie Juarez of
No,
RSL.
no,
Not going to make the list.
I mean,
and you know what?
Come on, he can't get
I
a good
love
suit.
the story of Freddie Juarez getting that job because Mike Pecky said words he shouldn't have said and doing well enough to keep it and all that stuff. I love that.
All the suits in Utah come with like a name tag that says Elder something. He can't get a good suit there.
No, I don't think you're allowed to say stuff like
What?
that, man. I don't.
Damn, dog.
Everyone I've seen does.
You're the ropes.
Hernando Sada in DC is an unknown quantity for MLS. Don't know what he's
Yes.
going to wear on the sideline.
I've seen
but
things though.
I have this. This is not bad. This that you can tell. I don't know if it's a skinny jean situation or just some very
And
nice.
this is
tailored
the one
pants.
I've been kind of saving in my top 5 because I really feel that there is potential
Ooh.
here from what I've seen. But we
Okay.
gotta see if what he brings stateside. There you
I have
go. That's
this
the one
as
I
well.
love. This
Okay.
is bundled up. Great jacket. Great scarf construction. I don't know what kind of weave he's done on that to get the layering that he's done on that scarf.
He's done a double plat. on that.
That scarf has to be twice the normal length, right? To do that many times around and weaving motions. But
Yeah.
he's got a great look. Love the glasses. I think this guy could be top 5 in MLS.
Okay, let's see. This is Wilfred Nancy. I don't have a book on him. I don't know what he's going to wear as a manager. This is an assistant coach's garb. He was an
That is
assistant in
assistant
Montreal.
coach. Yeah,
We have no idea what Wilfred Nancy's going to do.
that's
And hopefully he
exactly
comes-
what Easy wears up in Seattle. You know,
And here's where I don't know what's going to happen. He's going to be coaching in South Florida, but Phil Neville's a 3-piece suit guy.
He's a banker.
He's a banker suit guy. Can he be a banker suit guy in MLS? And where would that put him? Put him top 15, maybe.
it would
Top
put him
12.
it would put him in the Vermees category. Whereas I
Okay.
think Phil Neville has the money to have good, nice fitted suits. I think he has a decent sense of taste. I just think the taste is kind of retro, which is perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to elevate you into my top 5 with some of the other people that we're talking about. But
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
be just
No.
out of it.
Phil Neville is a Savile Row guy through and through and through. That's the famous street where all the suits are made in London. Like they make suits in London.
He looks
That's
like
what
he's one of the Kingsmen.
He does look. That's exactly what that is. He
Yes.
looks like a Kingsman. Here's Caleb Porter. Kind of.
Caleb Porter bounces back and forth. He's
does.
tracksuit half the time. He's suit half the time.
Yeah.
And I'll say he's good when he's wearing a suit. I don't think he's at the high echelon though, but he has the ability to when he wants to.
Okay. That's the champion. I mean, as a coach, he's the champion. I think this is Tab in a suit. I love the tie. I think the tie is a one, and I love blue with orange. You
But
can't. I don't
doesn't
think
it
you see
feel
that.
like he hates to be in a suit? Don't you
He
feel that
probably
Tab Ramos
does.
hates being in a suit?
Yeah, probably does.
I
He's
think
a coach.
Tab
I mean, he's a
Ramos.
player.
I think Tab Ramos, to his core, feels that there is 10 good minutes he could play on any stage in the world still right now, and
For
he's
sure.
anxious to show you at any moment.
For sure. Yeah, I think I just saw on Twitter not that long ago somebody said that they played pickup against him when he was like 45 and he just bossed everybody.
You're telling me if you had a pickup game with Tab Ramos and Preki on it at 45, I guarantee you they will boss around some 20-year-olds.
Probably now. And I mean, I'm saying so Tab is how old do you think Tab Ramos is?
Let's see. He was in the 94 World Cup. He was probably 25 then, and that was 25 years ago. So I say he was probably about 50, 51.
He is 54 actually. So, yeah, probably still go out and run a game. To be honest with you,
Don't you feel like he could serve a ball like Brendan Aronson did this weekend if he had to?
100%. Blind, eyes closed. He could do that. I think this is the oh no, I got two more. So this is Almeida. He does a suit.
He goes back and forth. He's like
yes,
Porter.
he does. But he also is a guy that when he wears a suit, to me, looks like the weed dealer that puts on a suit to go get the loan. Like he's not. Does he really want to be in the suit, or because he does well with it?
And
but I don't know if he wants.
I know this is wrong. We're talking about fashion, but how many points did he lose when he shaved his head?
He lost some points with me.
He lost some points, man. Like it's just there's something about the cascading locks
They call him.
across
They
his
called
shoulders.
it. His nickname is Pelado because of his hair, because it means bald, so it's an ironic nickname. And then he went and shaved his head, and now you actually are Pelado. What's happening? Why are you doing that?
Right. But he wears tracksuits a lot of time too, man. So he's back and forth. I put him in the Porter category.
I think the only one I haven't gotten to, I skipped over is that's Dos Santos. We already did Dos Santos. I think that's it. I think we've seen every coach in Major League Soccer and their potential style game. Their style game as of what we know so far. So do you have a top five as we wrap this up?
I remember what I said now, but I'm pretty sure I said Wiki. I said the new DC coach. I'm forgetting how to say his name.
Lasada. Yeah. By the way, again, there's no MLS book on him. You give him a lot of credit for having no MLS book.
But I'm putting Lucci.
Lucci. This is preseason power rankings from Jared Dubois for the best dressed MLS head coach.
I'm putting Vanny, and that gives me one more. Who am I missing that I said? There's one more. Oh, Chris Armas, I think.
Okay. Do you like Armas?
That was Chris Armas? There might be one other one. I'm trying to remember who was in there. If I can't remember if it was Armis.
Jim Curtin, you said you're okay with
there. Not
quite there. Okay. I think it probably is Armis. Now that I look at this list.
Now, honorable mention to a guy who was in the league last season that would have been close, which would have been Ben Olsen.
Okay, but he's not there. Not coach anymore. No.
Yeah.
All right. So there it is. Your preseason power rankings from Jared the Bot, top 5.
Do you disagree with any of the top 5?
No, I don't. I mean, going back and seeing Vermees and how well tailored those suits are, I feel like I should give him more credit, but he probably doesn't break in because he doesn't have enough range.
It's almost like Premier Vermees is the best tasting vanilla ice cream you've ever had. And you can't figure out to put this best vanilla ice cream you've ever tasted. Is it better than all those other hotly flavored ice creams that are out there?
That's perfect. I think that's exactly the way to think about it. All right. That's it. We're done. We got no time left. We got to get out of here. So make sure you check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. We give a little money to Nikki Supin Soprano every. We didn't explain that. Nobody knows that joke except for me.
Well, I was rocking some Andrew Lloyd Webber, like the pipes were singing. And then Nikki accurately was identifying the musical it was from
the show. Yeah, they were doing musical talk before the program. I don't think that's going to make the bonus show. So now he's Nikki Soup and Sausage, Nikki Soup and Salad because he dropped all that weight, and now Nikki Soup and Soprano because he did a rendition of a Les Mis song when he was in 8th grade.
He did a solo.
I mean, which is ballsy.
Let's bring him on the show because I hear he's got a review anyway. Maybe he'll give us a solo.
Okay.
Hey, Nick, can you read the review? Can you read the review in song form?
Hold on.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
All right, there it is. Go ahead.
No, we got 2 reviews, 2 really good ones.
He's not going to sing them.
I'm definitely not going to sing them.
You can do the Rex Harrison sing style.
That's a great move. Yeah, go for it.
All right, so this first one is from Greg in Memphis. He says, glad they're back with Amero-centric soccer talk. This is the most recent iteration of an American soccer-oriented podcast. Jason Davis is the guy with the East Coast radio voice that he's polished over the years. He's become well-connected and respected in the soccer community. Jared is his counterpart with the West Coast vibe. They make a great duo. They talk about American soccer, the national teams, MLS, and domestic leagues.
All I got for applauded was where I live?
And Americans playing abroad.
He said you wear flip-flops. That was the credit he gave you, that you wear flip-flops. Yes.
Everything is connected to the central theme of the continued progress of the game of soccer in America. You will have to endure their dives into pop culture and random things that interest them at the moment.
Was this 5 stars, Nick?
It was. Okay. But to be honest, it creates a lighthearted mix that works well on the whole. It's my go-to for soccer news. They do a great job of avoiding the culture war. Welcome back, guys. P.S. I will not be referred to as a bestie.
Oh, he doesn't like it. Okay.
Like it.
Well, you need to give us an alternative.
No. We ran through some options back in the day. I think bestie just was the one that made the most sense. But hey, who knows? Go ahead.
This last one is from Jeffrey Todd. He says, best podcast for USMNT fans, hands down. I've been listening to Jason and Jared for the past 8 years, and this is one of the only podcasts I refuse to miss an episode. 5 stars, hands down. So thank you for the 2 latest reviews. We really appreciate it, everybody.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jeffrey Todd. Any guy with 2 first names is okay by me.
Most people think those people are questionable.
That's
shady
what I'm
people.
saying. I endorse them.
You're the other way. You're contrarian on the 2 first name situation.
Yep.
All right. That's why we love you, because that's what you do. You're West Coast.
What, is Davis a first name for anybody? I think it is.
For a golfer, it is. Not for anybody who's the normal person. Just for a very white golfer, it is. Yeah. All right. Ratings and reviews. So that's what you do. You go over to Apple Podcasts and you drop that, and then we read them on the air and we give you credit and we tell you how much we love you for doing it. And that's it, I guess. Anything else? I mean, I don't know.
On the Patreon, folks. Lots of stuff going on there. The talk this weekend was really cool. A Besties beer sub Slack has started about folks that are going to share beer, ship it from their part of the country to other folks, so they can try craft beers from other parts of the country. Then they're going to watch a game together and drink them all together. So really cool things that we didn't even start that. They just did it on their own. We have an amazing culture over there, amazing community.
Yeah, I'm so proud. I'm shedding a tear. Community is growing. Jared is so beautiful.
And I joined the subreddit, but don't send me any beer because I won't appreciate it enough. Send me wine, but don't send me any beer. I appreciate it, Freddie, but
you can send me beer if you want, but I'm not begging for beer. It's you guys do your thing. All right. Again, patreon.com/the best soccer show, Apple Podcast reviews. That's it. Make sure you listen to that midweek show, especially last week. It was with Taylor Rockwell. We did a rumor roundup around the U.S. men's national team. Lots of Daryl DK talk. We got into Matthew Hoppe quite a bit. We even talked about Jesse Marsch and whether he could go somewhere bigger pretty soon. Maybe in Germany. If all these dominoes fall, if Hansi Flick goes to the German national team and Julian Nagelsmann goes to Bayern Munich, then Jesse Marsch can go to Red Bull Leipzig, RB Leipzig. Wouldn't that be spectacular? Yeah.
That's so incestuous.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Danger zone! You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Who asked those questions?
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Oh, it's incredible! What are we doing?
Eddie, what have you done for me lately?
Duh and or hello.
Michael freaking Arasco Fiscal.
Jay Rodius.